So we started the shir today with the story of Yakov Avinu. Bikish legalas is a case when Estalka Mamena Shchino. And Yakov turns to his children and he says, what's wrong? Is there anything I'm not aware of? The Gemara doesn't say, but the Zohar says, and the Rambam says the same. Yakov Avinu asked, is anybody around this table that doesn't really share my emunah and what Avraham Avinu, our grandfather, taught us? Why did he think it's all about emunah? There are taryag mitzvahs. And when he says the Shechina left him, why is he troubled? Shema yesh belibchem ala kodesh baruch hu. So this is an amazing Zohar, in a way. And I stress in a way. In Loshen Kodesh I say, b'derech min hadrachim, b'oifen min ha'oifanim. In a way, the Zohar says that Odom HaRishon was poigem, b'gimel averes chamuris shebetoira. Gili arayis avodah zorah shvichas damim. I say in a way, because Odom HaRishon was the first human being. Yetzir kapov shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu. We know nothing about Odom HaRishon. But the Gemara does say in Sanhedrin Lamed Ches, Moishech bo'or lo soy mean hoyu, and that is very harsh. And there is a Medrash Tanchum in Parshas Masai. Why did Odom HaRishon need to leave Gan Eden? Because he brought death to the world. And a hoirig nefesh b'shgogo chayev golus. And he brought death to the world, he was chayev golus, and that is why he was exiled from Gan Eden. So the Zohar says, in a way that is totally above and beyond the realm of our understanding. But in a way, Odom HaRishon was Poigim, Gimel Aveis Chamus, and the three giants, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the others needed to be metaken the begam of Odom HaRishon. Avraham Avinu took care of Gili Arayis. How? In the eyes of Chazal, Yishmael symbolizes Arayis. Yishmael was thrown over the fence. And Yitzchak continues the chain of Am Yisrael. And that is how Klal Yisrael was purified from the begam of Gili Arayis. Yaakov was a Ish Domim. Esav is a Ish Domim. Esav is a killer. How was Yitzchak metaken the begam of Shvichas Domim? In the same way, what happened to Avraham with Yishmael happened to Yitzchak and Esav. Esav is Edom, and that's Odom, that's blood. Esav wanted to destroy and kill Yaakov. He is expelled, thrown over the fence, and Yaakov Avinu continues the chain. Yaakov knows the secret, and all his life he lives in fright. And he observes his children carefully, and he is gratified to see they're all tzaddikim. And he thanks the Kodesh Baruch Hu every day. And now towards the end of his life, suddenly, Nestalka Mamena Shchina, and it all comes back to haunt Yaakov Avinu. He knows what happened to Avraham. He knows what happened to Yitzchak. And he knows what is left for him to be metaken. And that is number 3, and that is avodah zarah. And that is why when suddenly he wants to talk about the Geula, and the Shechina leaves him, it all comes back to haunt him, and he says, is my fate and my destiny the same as Avraham and Yitzchak? Shema yesh belibchem ala kodesh baruch hu. Is any of my children here that does not share my faith and my trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And then they all say in chorus, no, Abba, Tata Yaakov, we all believe just like you. Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and Yaakov is gratified, and he says, Baruch Shem Kavod M'chusar. But the Zohar doesn't explain, so how did Yaakov be metaken the begam of avodah zarah? Libi Yoimeli. And I quote another Zohar. The Zohar says that 3 of his Ekdoshim are against Gimel Amudei Tevel, Torah, Avodah, and Gemeles Chosodim, and Shloisha Dvorim Oila Moim. Al Torah, Al Avodah, V'al Gemeles Chosodim. But by the others, it was the other way around. It started with Chesed, Titan Chesed LaAvraham. Avraham was the pillar of Chesed. It is from Avram that we learn Achnas Asarchem. And in Kabbalah we know that Chesed, Gvura, Teferes are Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Yitzchak is Avodah. The greatest and the ultimate sacrifice was Akedas Yitzchak. Yaakov is Ishtam Yoshev V'Holam. And I say, when the tikkun comes through Torah, nobody needs to be thrown over the fence. When the tikkun comes from Torah, Torah purifies mibifnim, Torah is mekadesh, Torah is metayar, Torah is miyashar. So Yaakov Avinu's tikkun was with Torah. And that is why Yaakov was Zoicha, mitosei shleimo. Nobody needed to be rejected. Nobody needed to be expelled. Because that is the koyach of Torah. And Yaakov Avinu is Torah. And that is why we say in this week's Parsha, Misham roya even Yisrael. And Rashi brings, Even is Nutreikon. It is an abbreviation of Avhan Ubnan. Avay Sabonim. We should be Zerchala Yaakov Avinu. Like Yaakov Avinu, Mitosoi Shleimo. 12 children, 12 tribes. Kulam Ahuvim, Kulam Berurim, Kulam Kedoshim, Kulam Tahirim. That's the koyach of Yaakov Avinu. And that is what every Jewish father and every Jewish mother wishes for himself and his family. Misham roya even Yisrael avhan ubnan. So as we say goodbye to the Ovis, and we finish Chumash Bereishis, and almost every week I've been quoting the Ramban, Masa Ovis Yitzira Labonim. Everything the Ovis did, everything that transpired with the Ovis, wasn't just personal. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov were not just three individuals, three tzaddikim. They dictated and defined the entire future of Klal Yisrael ad sof kol hadoros. Bikesh Yaakov legalas as a kates, ubederech men adrocham he was megala the kates in concealment, behester. All the targumim and even Targum Onkelos, which is always pshat, but even Targum Onkelos explains every posik in the brachos of Yaakov to his children. Everything defining the osid in the future of Klal Yisrael. And that is the way we learn Masei Avos. So whenever I read Parshas Vayechi, in a way I feel like a little child, first day, going off to cheder, going off to school. A little girl, first day, going to Gan. And after a few steps, she turns around to see whether Abba and Ima are still watching over her. And with tears in their eyes, they wave goodbye to their little kinderlach. It's hard, to say goodbye to a child. So, Parshas Vayechi is always in a way like saying goodbye to the Avos. Every week we dealt with Masa Avos, primarily according to the Zohar and the Ramban, the way they define and explain Masa Avos. And next week is Chumash Shemois, Yemei HaShoivavim. The Ramban defines Shemois Sefer HaGolus v'HaGeula. Sefer Bereishis is all about the Avos that paved the way. They paved the way and they gave us the koyach and the strength to survive the Golus, to endure everything that we need to endure, and they paved the way up to the Geula. And Chumash Shemois is Sefer HaGolus v'HaGeula. Ha'hoilech v'darka Ovis, ani meskayim mola b'schus Ovis, we should be zoiche beglal Ovis, toshia bonim, v'savi geula levnei b'neihem, b'mheiro v'yomeinu, amen.